You bring up a really important theme that I wanted to get to, which is the polarities and the divisiveness that clearly election 2016 and the campaigns leading up to it really brought to full fore.
Yeah.
And that is also infecting and affecting mainstream media. How do you, and is that a goal of the GroundTruth Project, to try to bridge that divide in the media? Or do you end up being part of the he said, she said atmosphere that has polarized media and that has further added to the polarization of the electorate?
Yeah. There was a lot of good journalism that was done in this election as well. A lot of news organizations that worked very hard, did good work. And there are a lot of young journalists, I think, who want to emulate that great journalism, who want to be part of really doing the hard work to bring home the stories that can have impact and affect change. And I think there's a core there that we really try very hard to work with at GroundTruth. So we really do not want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the future and part of figuring out how journalism can be better, how it can take advantage of the moment we live in online with great opportunities to report across platforms and to reach very wide audiences. Trump took control of a lot of the messaging through social media. And I don't think the media should get down on the president about that. I mean, that is the future. No one got down on Lincoln when he figured out the telegraph. No one got down on Kennedy when he figured out the televised press conference. Although there were people at the time who questioned both of those presidents using the technology of their time. The challenge is for the media to use the technology. How do we get ahead of the messaging? How do we start putting the questions out to the White House via social media that are really hard, undeniable, right at you, important, fair, balanced? How do you bring that into the future of media? And I think that is a history that is not yet written, but it is unfolding right in front of us. So, we want to be part of figuring that out. But again, I really think this is going to be up to digital natives to push forward and find the ways to create dialogue across the divide. And I think we face an enormous challenge in the coming years for that. GroundTruth is going to be part of it, but it's really going to be up to the young journalists who we support to be the innovators, to be the entrepreneurs. And if we do our job right, for them to bring the real traditions and standards with them.
How do you build credibility for your news organization at a time of social media and at a time when so many people distrust news media in general? And I know we've said that media means a lot of things these days, but the level of distrust aimed at media is the same as the level of distrust we see around the country at other institutions like Congress or the legal system or police. It's the same for media. We're under that same scrutiny. How do you build credibility?
You do good work, and you kind of roll up your sleeves and you stay focused and you try to get young teams of reporters to recognize that's what it's all about. That is, in the end of the day, great journalism is about hard work. The Boston Globe, we're very proud of the film Spotlight. And I think the journalists who were working so hard in that real-time story and now, big hit movie, really tell a story about what journalism really is. And journalism really is hard work. And if you do it right, you can affect change. And I think some of our work has been getting recognized with awards, which matter to us. So the series I told you about, Forever Stan, has won a DuPont Award.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And it's won the Edward R. Murrow Award. And it's been recognized by traditional media for its excellence, even though it's digital and even though it's driven by an organization dedicated to young journalists. That matters to us. We want to do the good work that matters. We want to do the good work that gets noticed. But I'm really reminded in these incredibly challenging times of a sentence I heard Vartan Gregorian say. So Vartan of Carnegie, who I deeply admire, a really great thinker. Vartan one time was sitting next to me at a conference of journalists talking about the future of media. And there was a lot of hand-wringing about what are we going to do? What's happening to the future of media? And Vartan stood up, looked a little bit annoyed, and with his great voice, with great gravitas, said, "The truth is never going out of business."
And you feel that way? You feel that optimistic?
I do.
Even with a president that has questioned, intelligence agencies based on evidential facts?
I think we live in a time where even if you have climate skeptics, the global momentum to recognize that climate change is imperiling the planet and the many forces that are going to work for it and work really toward changing that are underway. And whether the United States is with the future and with change or not, it's going to happen. I think the same is true with human rights. I think the same is true with a lot of stories. I think the world's a better place when America leads, but if we enter into a time where America won't lead, I think there's enough momentum for change that those things are going to go on. And I hope we can get back to a place where we lead. I really think this is a fateful moment for the American century. And maybe a time where we're going to see what the world looks like when America doesn't lead. And I really believe that journalism can play a role in highlighting that, really getting at those stories that can reveal the importance of America showing its leadership on the big issues around climate change, the big issues around human rights, diversity. How we're going to do that is by just doing the good old-fashioned journalism that really matters, that takes hard work, and putting it out there by taking advantage of this moment we live in when media is facing a revolution and there's an opportunity to really break through in new ways of storytelling that can be global and that can be very impactful.